We have one last concluding piece of our Torah service this time. We are honored to invite our past president, father, husband, grandfather, Jay Schwartz, to offer a few words. He will explain to you what we are doing this year in lieu of what we did in years past, called the Kol Nidrei Appeal. We started a new tradition, again, the spirit of our president, starting new things in Rosh Hashanah. It's called Open the Gates. And Jay, we're grateful to you for sharing a few words. Maybe want to pull the mic up so everyone can be as close as possible. Thank you, my friend.
Is that good?
Yep.
Yep, thank you, Rabbi. Shana Tova. Good morning, everyone. So thank you for the opportunity to present in regards to this year's Open the Gates campaign. A lot of you may know me professionally. I lead a lot of sales forces, so it's normal for me to give a sales pitch. But today I'm really going to speak more from the heart and really just open up a little bit about Beth Meyer, what it means to me personally, and how my family and I always approach every year the Open the Gates campaign. So I first came into Beth Meyer, first stepped foot, shortly after Rochelle and I were married 33 years ago. We walked in here for the first time, not knowing a soul. But I did have a very slight connection, is that when I was in pharmacy school in New York, I filled prescriptions for Marilyn Rose's mother. And through that connection, I was invited to Paul and Marilyn's home to break fast that year, right? A very kind of loose connection. I got to meet the Roses, Esther and Leon, blessed memory, Dara and Jamie, the whole family, and they welcomed us in. And that was really the first kind of entree for us into Beth Meyer. And since then, you know, our family has continued to grow, and we've been in this building many, many times since. When I stand here and on the bima, I can reflect back to my children have been named here on this bima. They've gone to preschool downstairs when it was here in this building downstairs. They have gone to religious school through Amy and Deborah and all the wonderful teachers over the years. They've gone to USY here over the years. They had their bar mitzvahs. All three of them have had their bar mitzvahs on this bima. My father and my father-in-law, blessed memory, have their plaques in the back, and they were here as well for various simchas. And my daughter Alyssa was married here on this bima. And then Rochelle and I have been very active over the years. So Rochelle has been president of the preschool. She has been president of Sisterhood. Mim Sichel convinced me to join the board for 1-year term, and 8 years later, I became president of the synagogue and was very active with the Capital Campaign and then the Satisky building next door. And some of our closest friends we have met and continue to socialize and have great friendships, all from people that we've met in this building. And now, door for door, right? 30 some odd years later, I have 2 grandchildren, Jackson and Brooke, who have both been named by our rabbis, and Jackson is now in preschool next door, right? So when I talk about, from the heart, for me, this has become not just a building, it is really, or a place of worship per se, it has really become a big piece of my heart. And I think whether you've been here for 3 weeks or 3 months or 3 years or 30 years, I think you could all kind of understand how this building, how this community continues to occupy a large place of your heart. And so this really becomes your home. But like a home, right, it needs to be nourished, it needs to be cared for, and it needs to be supported. And we do that via the Open the Gates campaign. And so I really purposely decided not to give the heavy sales pitch today, but to speak from my heart, because I want you to open your hearts when you think about this campaign. So I know it's been available since the beginning of the holidays, but really the formal campaign, Open the Gates campaign, starts on Sunday, September 12th at 5 p.m. and ends on Tuesday, September 14th at 5 p.m. And they have a campaign goal of $180,000. And it's essentially an e-fundraiser, right? So you'll get a link to the campaign, and the website will be available at kickoff, and then you could go ahead and make your contribution there. There have been some folks that we want to acknowledge already, the Trumat Halev and early donors who responded to the emails that came out earlier, or actually the mailings that came out, and have already participated. And for those that haven't yet, next week on Sunday at 5 p.m., the campaign will begin. This is a recurring annual fundraiser because a lot has changed, right? Back in the day, people used to auction off various components and raise money that way. That is no longer done. It is all done through the Open the Gates campaign. I could tell you as a past president, this is a really key component of the annual budget for the synagogue. So it is critically important to continue to pump blood into the synagogue to make it the place where, fortunately for a lot of the simchas I've had here, all of you continue to have through this beautiful building. But the key really to this campaign is participation. So whether, all gifts, all sizes, right? All gifts count, whether it's $18, $180, $1,800, they all add up to achieve our goal. So everything will be greatly appreciated, and I appreciate the opportunity today to share with you what Beth Meyer means to me and my family, and that's how we approach this campaign every year. Shana Tova from the entire Schwartz family, and thank you for the opportunity to talk to everybody today.
Amen, Jay. Shakal. Thank you so much, Jay. Beautifully done, and I feel so privileged, me and Rabbi Jenny, I know I speak for her as well, to be present for so many of those events in your family's life and for all of the families and community members of our congregation. Kol hakavod.